Tried to do a real slick changeover in my audio and click the spot and missed it, I guess. I don't know if you could hear me. Probably could hear me saying, "Hey, Don here." Uh, then I look back and I was like, I don't see me in the screen because I can see a preview of myself in my screen over here. But I was looking over there at my monitor of my laptop, and so I get it so that I can see that my live stream is good. I have it running, and then at the beginning, I set it. I turn on the volume there, let it play the live stream, and so I can hear it with. And again, every time I'll have to explain all my flubber bust in here. I'm being mixed up when I start out. Half the time I'm all confused because I got it working this time. I got the audio going in time, and I was sitting there listening, and I was like, okay, switch now. And then I didn't see myself over here. And so then I look back, and I was like, oh, I see the blue line's not on the cam. You know, it's all in words, telling what each thing is. And I can show that in the desktop. It'll get a little video feedback, but actually I can put the sound preferences up there in front of it. I didn't realize I still had that open. I had to work to get this. It was distorting a little bit. But anyway, I clicked on the cam stream, but I clicked over to the right of the actual words, and it didn't take. So I didn't know it would do that. Or maybe I missed it. I don't know, but nothing happened. So I don't know if it was stuck up here in the I won't click on them because it'll make it happen, but I don't know if it was stuck up there in the music section or what. I have the intro titles with no sound, intro with music, the cam, desktop, then exit with music, and then exit with no sound. That makes them work out pretty good for me and do kind of what I want to. And of course, it's the same music every time unless I change it in the application here. But that seems to be easier than trying to play music in VLC or whatever. So I didn't realize I still had this. I had to do like 4 sound tests to get and video tests to make everything. Finally got. I kept hearing a little distortion, but I swear this computer, you can have this little slider in different places and get different results. I swear. I haven't changed my V amp over here at all. I thought maybe I needed to change it. I thought maybe some of the things went wrong in it over here. But I went kind of filled with it off, not during the test, but just in between tests, and it was fine. So I think there might be just tiniest little telltale distortion if I get too close or too loud on my mic, but it's okay now. It's good enough. As good as I'm going to get it, I mean. And it may have gotten into some other recordings and I didn't notice it because I didn't happen to listen to them in the right spot. That's what I'm kind of concerned about. But let's get back to... this is a live stream, so you get what you get. So let's get back to what I was really going to do today. I've already made a 25-minute video of trying to figure out where to start back up at. I was kind of mixed up as to where to start, but what I'm going to do here, I've looked back again one more time to make sure I'm not confused. If you try to upload things that are already uploaded, it will tell you. You'll get errors on every one of them if they've all been uploaded, saying these are duplicates, or at least you should. But from what I've gathered, this group here is what I want to upload. They call them albums in Google Photos. I've made albums of videos in Google Photos and gave them names. And so I have you can't do more than 300. I found that out the hard way. I tried to do about 400 or something, and I couldn't. So I had to start over and take all the videos in this 425 video album and put it into separate albums. I had to start all over. Now, and I did this as I made the video, so that that was a pain. But I've got this one uploaded, and from what I figured out a while ago, this is the next one to do. And I have made when I did this one, I made a video, and I was using this browser right here, Firefox developer version. There's the icon up there for it. Firefox. Say that one time. Firefox developer version, and let's see, went blank. Anyway, I made it work by sitting there clicking on. There's a script error that kept coming up when you do a bunch of videos. When you do just like 10 or 30, it's fine. You get no problems. But if you start doing like 253, it'll bring up and say there's a script slowing down your browser, your machine. It may slow down your machine, which it will. It'll bring it to a screaming halt, and I'll have to shut it down and reboot it. But if you catch it and keep saying, okay, wait, don't kill it. If you kill it, you're going to kill your upload. And like I said before, the first time I encountered that, I just killed it because I thought it's just some bad script, on the site. But it's that script that's doing it, the upload script, or the transfer. I always say, they're really transferring from their Google Photos server to their YouTube server. It's not a upload in the strict sense as I consider it, uploading from my machine to others. But I have a little drink here. Anyway, number 2 here. I just put a number in front of them so I could quickly see which one is which. And I successfully I did get it to work. It took a long time. Started trying other browsers. I went into that in the previous video today, so I won't go into it again. Vivaldi and Chromium. Chromium is the granddaddy of all these. It's the one that Vivaldi and Chrome is based on. Chromium is the granddad, really. It's the dad, really. There's not one older than Chromium. That Chromium is the original. But anyway, Chromium, I couldn't use Chromium. I would have. I couldn't because it. As soon as I imported all my bookmarks and add-ons from Chrome into it, I do have Chrome, but it won't even run anymore. It'll use like 2.5 gig, 3.5 gig of RAM, and I got 4 gig of RAM, but you run a machine like that, Anyway, it'll just sitting there. Chrome will do that now. I don't know what's going on with it. Chromium is using a gig and 300 megabytes, just sitting there, and maybe I'm hoping that if I let it sit there long enough, it'll finish. I just haven't wanted to do it because I'm using the machine, but like when I'm doing something else on another machine, see if it's just not quite done upload. It'll do that it'll use a lot of resources while it's transferring, like the bookmarks. I have so many bookmarks, like several thousand. It could maybe settle down after that, but I don't know. But I can't use it, even using a gig of RAM. It's just too much in my RAM, Vivaldi's only using like 200, 300 megabytes, maybe 500 when you're really, like when you're running YouTube scripts or something here. It did a batch, but it was actually more of I don't think I ever saw the script error, maybe once at the very beginning. I can't remember now. I have to look back at my own video, I guess. I made a video of it. But some things when they weren't working right, it wasn't telling you, and it took forever. It actually seemed harder to do than with Firefox developer version. And I thought it would be better because Chrome generally works better on YouTube and Google and websites than Firefox does because, it's designed for their browser, But it didn't turn out that way with Vivaldi. I can't say for Chromium because I didn't get to use that. Chrome I couldn't possibly use. So this is on Fedora 23, and Chrome itself is not being updated anymore because they stopped updating even before Fedora 23 got to end of life, and it was at end of life a few months ago. And I'm going to update this machine and all my others to Fedora 25, or the older ones will probably have to go to a Debian distro or something, but because Debian uses a lot less resources. But anyway, I haven't got around to it because I've got so many other things that gotten in the way, but I will be doing some videos on that when I do it. So I'm going to upload the number 2. I call it the number 2 because it's all the same name, really, and they were all in the same. Most of them were all, until I added some more, were all in the same playlist. But okay, so let's transfer, see how this works. I'll have to sit here and babysit if I get any errors. Okay, now what I'll do, see, instead of uploading you can drag and drop files over here, or you can click on the arrow there and select files. And while I'm thinking about it, let's see something here. I'm going to click on this as if I was going to upload videos. Now let's say I was going to upload these videos I made today. Oh heck. Oh man, when you double click by accident like I just did, it does it. Now here's the problem. That was the first video in that list. Guess what video that is? The one I'm making right now. Now how am I going to fix that? I'll tell you what. I'm afraid it'll break my stream. I'm going to close the web browser. Leave the page. I'm afraid it will break my video here. When it gets to the end of it, I'm afraid it'll break this one that I'm recording right now, which it wouldn't break. I said it'd break my stream. It wouldn't break my stream because my stream is going on a separate thread up to YouTube, but it would break my recording of this video. I've seen that happen more than once. If I'm playing a video of any type that if I on purpose or accident click on a video that I'm recording in VLC and play it while it's recording, it'll play. But when it gets to the end, it depends on what type of video it is, but this is an FLV and it would play. And it gets to the end, it would either just stop and everything will be fine, or it'll stop and then break the video. And it seems like it depends on video formats. Can't remember if it would. I don't know, but I want to find out if it would break an FLV, a Flash video. I don't really like working with Flash, but it streams really well, and that was the default for OBS Studio, so I've been using it because it's been working really well. It is a bigger file size than MP4. That's what MP4s or MP4s. MPEG is what they used to be. MP3 is the audio. MP4 is kind of the one I usually like to use because it gets a good quality at a lowest file size that I've seen. OGG videos are fine. That's the only thing you can record with GTK Record My Desktop, but YouTube won't accept them. So I think I just stopped that upload because it tells you, used to, get back on there and see. I wasn't paying attention. I was too excited about making a big mistake. It tells you to stay on the page when you're doing an upload. Go back. There it is. It's being uploaded still. So it did not get broke. I guess I'm fixing to find out. No, wait. It's not growing. So I think I did stop it. Edit. Let's see. Delete. I'm going to go ahead and delete it because I don't want that happening. Okay. I think it was stopped because I closed the web browser. Oh, there's my live stream right there. It says 2 views, but over here in my... Oh, I couldn't see if I had a viewer anyway. I don't have it, the web page. I can't see the whole page. It says 0 watching. Maybe 2 people actually... I didn't click on it unless my self... One of them could be me when I watched it at the beginning there to do my audio. But the other one must be... somebody might have clicked through and saw that it was a boring crash. Okay. Confused the whole guy on there and left. But... so... Here we go. I'm in my video manager. I want to, that's where I was anyway. Okay, so I'll try one more time, and I'm not get away from that. See, that's how I messed up last time. Now, here's what I wanted to see. Can you select more than one? Okay, you can, because I thought you couldn't do that, and I was so mad about it. So you see, you could upload multiple videos at once. So I'm not going to do that now. But I wanted to know, I noticed that I could do it in Vivaldi. I was sitting there saying, you can't do that, and that sucks, because you used to could do it. And but here's what you can't do. You can't click on a folder. Or can you? What did I do now? Seems to be only one video. It's probably that top video again. It's a pretty big video now. Okay. 17, 02, 23, 18, 53, 25. Yep, that's it. Okay, we know what to do this time. Close the browser. Man, I knew I hadn't been feeling good for about a week, and that's why I haven't been back on here doing this, and I thought I was a little better today, but evidently, maybe I feel a little better, but my brain ain't working any better. So, get out of here. So perhaps I will entertain you with my incompetence. But I want to get this done anyway, and I kept not doing these uploads because I thought, well, I want to make a video of it and show it. I've been showing it when it's really hard to do and it's not working. I wanted to show it when it was working too. You know, that was kind of my thing. So instead, I just show myself going around in circles being confused. Okay, I'm going to delete that one again. Better watch out, I'll delete my live video. Okay, so I just wanted to see for my own memory to tell myself, can I do that in Firefox? Because I don't want to have to do it in Vivaldi. I didn't like the way it worked. There's a lot of things that were you just left hanging, wondering is it working or not, you know. And I don't know if it'll do that in Chromium or not. I won't get to find out unless it gets to working again. I may have to take all the add-ons out of it. The crazy thing is, I know with Chrome, when I imported like my 3,000 or 4,000 bookmarks, it made it slow. Made it work hard just sitting there. Now, why bookmarks will do that, I've never understood. It does it in Firefox too. So, but I think some of those add-ons, the more add-ons you have, the more your browser works, harder your browser works. And let me go to albums, and some of those in Chrome I could do without. The ones in Firefox, I'm pretty much down to pretty much. It works okay though, so I don't have to. But this one don't have but one, just AdBlock Plus. That's one reason. That's why I can do some of this stuff on Chrome with it. Now the crazy thing is your playlists, your albums look completely different. There's all these auto-generated albums in here, and it's hard to find the ones you actually made yourself when you do it this way, coming from YouTube. If you go there from, I'm just going to show it. I think I showed it one other time, but look at all those. Now, all that stuff is, for some reason, my blog. Your blog is tied to this, and I use my blog all the time. I have for years. I post to it a lot. For some reason, all your images and stuff that you put on your blog gets automatically turned into albums in here, and separate ones, not all just one, you know. So if you go in here and go to albums, you'll see just this top row with like different auto-made stuff, you know, shared, people, places, blah, blah, blah. Doesn't even say blog in there at all. As a matter of fact, none of those are from my blog. But they're my pictures that are uploaded from either my, you have to use Windows or your phone, Android. I have some Android phones now. And so those videos I've made, that's what I'm uploading, is videos that were made with my phones. But if you want to do your pictures and stuff and videos that you have on your computers, and what I had to do, because mine are all on a Linux machine, I had to turn it on, and luckily I have it set up to serve to my local network. And so then I turned on a Windows machine with the Google app, uploading app, you know, and then I pointed it to that other machine. That's the only way and it was, you know, it was terrible having to leave. Plus my web server that runs 24/7, plus the one I was working on. So I had 4 machines running in this room. So I couldn't do that for long, you know, but I did finally. I did a few hours here, a few hours there, and I finally got a lot of what I wanted uploaded. I didn't do pictures really, I just did videos, you know. But also there's some of my videos that aren't a format that they'll accept, so those have to be converted, and now finding those is another chore. So it's a good tool, but it's also got a lot of caveats, as they say, a lot of pains in the butt. These are my albums that I made, and I want to get all these, pretty much most of these uploaded. Some of them are actually mostly pictures or just pictures, and you know, you can't upload pictures straight to YouTube. You can turn them into a slideshow and stuff. But so anyway, I want to do my next set, which is going to be this one right here, Don's computers and phones and so on and so on. I can't even read the rest of it there. Number 2. And I went in before how I had to, this was the original one, and I had to divide it up because you can't do more than 300 at a time, so I made a 1, a 2, and a 3. I think that's all I have in that. Yeah, 1 and 2 and 3, but I'm on number 2. Upload, no. Confused, yes. Okay, so there we go. My live stream's working. I hadn't really noticed that you could see the live stream in the and the number of views. Oh, that's the one that I just got through doing. That's not the one I'm doing right now. Ah, okay, that's why I never saw it before. That's because I quit. I went for a little break and then came back. Okay, so that's, yeah, that makes sense now. So this one, it actually needs to be renamed. But I'll guess so. I wonder if I should rename it now. This other one, they're always going to have the same name until I rename them. That's why I'm going, do I need to rename that? Let's see. I can't even think of what the subject's going to be. Let's see. I guess if I was going to rename it, I'll look at that after I get the upload started, if I can, if I don't have trouble with my upload. I don't think it'll cause any trouble. Yeah, it won't, because YouTube you can have 1,000 videos with the same name now. I guess you always could, and I didn't know it, and it won't hurt anything. All right. It just might confuse people if they see two of them with the same name, but since I don't have a J in viewers, I don't guess it's going to hurt anything right now. Okay, since there's 0 viewers on my admin page over there, I don't think it'll matter. All right, so I'm going to import from photos. I always know that's it because I do recognize the little icon. It's definitely one you'll see. Okay, now it goes straight to your, there's something called auto backup in here, and that's your blog and your pictures and everything. I don't, well, actually it looks like it's just my pictures. But anyway, this one here is the one that makes it really hard to find what you want. See, that says a lot of those say DonsDeals Blog. That says photos from photos, I guess. And that says Don's computer. That must be 425. They call them photos, whether they're videos or photos, pictures or not, images. But I guess what else you're going to call it, when it's doing both. So photography. Could have called it Google Photography, but then you'd still think of still images. So call it Google Photojournalism, but then I would hate the whole thing for sure. Okay. So, Torn Lion Media. Okay, I won't go into that. All right. Number 2, Don's computers. I think as soon as I click on it, yeah, see, I can't. That's kind of bad because I can't read the whole thing. You really got. Yeah, it's a good thing I named it number. See, I can see Don's Compute. Up here, Don's Compute with no number in front of it. Computer. See, that says computer, but this one says, well, it's shorter, it's one space and a number. And then there should be another one that says 3 that I'll be wanting to do next. I want to at least upload them, in the right order, because that's the closest thing to getting them anywhere near an order that I'm going to be able to do. So I'll click on that one, number 2, and then you're down here and select select, and it's going to start right then and there. So you're committed the instant you hit select. So you better know that's what you wanted. And see, it's taking a little bit. Okay, see, there's that script error. You got to hurry up and say wait. But it comes up on that yellow bar, and it comes up quickly enough that you can respond to it before it breaks the script. Yeah, keep on clicking it. This is the upload script or the transfer script. And if, like I said before, if you're doing, well, evidently if you're doing 152, it's still not going to work very well. If you're doing, I don't know what the magic number is, but I'm going to guess it's under 100. I know I've done 35, maybe I did 50, 55 before without any trouble. And this is the whole reason I'm making the video. Okay, now it's working. So hopefully we won't get any more of those errors. But couldn't try it in Chrome because it won't run on my machine at all. I didn't get to try it in Chromium because I added all my, doing it again, because I got in a rush. I installed it and I thought, this is good. It's only using like 250 megabytes of memory. This is great. And then I saw that section in the setup where you could add, log into your Google account and get all your bookmarks and your add-ons. I thought, well, I'm tired of these. I was already tired of the darn ads and pop-ups and stuff. So I thought, well, I'm going to get my stuff, So I did that, and then now it's using 100. It's using 1,000 megabytes. It's using a gig. It's using like 1,300 megabytes just sitting there. More than that even. It'll just kind of vary up to about 1,400. It's still doing it. So see, I'm going to have to sit here and babysit it. But I think it'll work because I've done it before with 250, and this is 150. Just hopefully I guess it won't take as long. But as soon as that comes up, I'm clicking wait. That's what I'm doing. I can't sit here too long on it and explain it, because if you want to get a good shot of what that looks like, just pause the video, I guess, when it's not live. Well, you can pause it live and then resume. But I thought this was terrible, but it actually worked better in here than it did in Vivaldi, because that comes up really quickly. Vivaldi, what it may have done is just sit there, hung up, and not told me, and then, then began to work. But but then the whole process took so long that I thought it was broke about 10 times, and I almost gave up on it. And then, but I actually got to talking, thinking of stuff and talking, and sidetracked, and it ended up working. Several times, I would be telling a story or something while I was waiting, and thought, oh no, it's not working. And then the next thing I know, it goes, the next stage would happen. And it doesn't, when it works right, it's really very quick, because it's not uploading from your machine. It's not dependent on your network connection, your internet connection, your ISP. It's just dependent on Google's super fast connections between their servers. So, the only thing it's actually depending on, and that's why it's crazy to me that the script should be able to hang it up. All you're doing is sending out information from your machine. Hey, Google Photos machine, I want you to transfer all these videos from your machine to the Google YouTube machine. How much data does that take? Why should there be a script that starts to lock up your browser, that gives your browser errors? Why should it even happen? As fancy as their setup is, as many programmers as they've got, and as smart as I know they are, I just don't get why there should be a problem like this. Now, some of them, they say this video's a duplicate, so some of them have already been uploaded. They may end up all saying that. I may be confused. And you can say publish all right now, but it won't get them all until they're done. So, do whatever you want. But it confused me a lot, especially on the Vivaldi browser, because every time I clicked that, it kind of froze up the browser, and I had to sit there from 1 to 5 minutes before it would come back and start responding. I couldn't even do this. I knew it was froze up because I couldn't even do that. You know what? I may have been confused after all. I looked and looked, and I thought I had figured out where I was in my uploads. But there's a whole bunch that say they've already been uploaded. So that's a lucky thing. The Google servers will know if you've already, at least most of the time. I've seen some that I know for sure are duplicates. You can watch them and see. But they didn't show up as duplicates to their, their checksums that they use or whatever. And so when it hadn't uploaded, what looked like duplicates, there's obviously some sort of difference in the file itself that it didn't show up to be the same file. No big deal, but okay. So I got all that checking I did. I still didn't get I didn't get it figured out. I looked and looked, and that's the thing about the for one thing, there's such a big difference in the sorting abilities between Google Photos and YouTube. They're so different. You can't even sort them the same. So there you go. Unless you got an ironclad memory, you're not going to, And I looked through them too, and I did not see my my first and last video in my Google Photos set, my album. I didn't see them over there on YouTube, so I thought, okay, I haven't uploaded them. Somehow they were lost in that, and I thumbed through them, tried to go slow and look, and I'm not very good at that, I'll admit. I'm just not good at looking through lists. Words are even worse than pictures. I thought, well, with the pictures, I'll see it. But, and maybe there have different, could be because Google Photos picks different thumbnails than YouTube does. It could be that. Might be. Because I think I've caught that happening before. There it is right there. There's the one on my key. There's my key right there. That's my oldest or newest or whatever. I think the newest of this batch. There it is, but guess what's going to happen when it gets done? Well, why does it wait till it gets to the end before it can tell? That's the other thing. I don't know why it can't do a checksum on it first before it starts uploading it. Well, I guess maybe they think that'll speed it up, which, technically I guess it would, but see, it's going to finish. I know that one's going to come up and say it's a duplicate, so let's watch it. It's almost done. But, so this whole batch, I thought this batch was already done. See, this time I should have trusted my own memory. Most of the time, that's not the thing to do with me. I have a Swiss cheese memory. It's full of holes, and some things are there and some things aren't. But mine's like an ever-changing, reforming Swiss cheese memory. It changes all the time. So I don't. Every time I just stand on my memory and think, I know this, I'll be wrong. So if I have a doubt, I'd try to check it out. But I did, and it still didn't get it right. But it looks to me like every one of these, and you know what? I can't see that error if it comes up. Oh, yes, I can. I'm not sure. I don't know if it would show up or not with I'm down at the bottom of the page. I think it will, but I'm not sure. I'm going to stay up at the top. I'll risk it. It's almost there. I think it'll show up in that white area right there. Since I think they're all duplicates, I guess it won't matter that much. Other than me not finding out, like if it hangs up. Where'd it go? That was it. Okay, so just like I said, that bottom one, it's a duplicate. So wouldn't do you any good to try to publish any of them. There's not going to be a single one of these that's going to work. But at least you don't accidentally upload a whole bunch of duplicates. I like that about it. And if you somehow forgot and added some to that album, and I've got some of them uploaded but not the others, I don't know what to do, just upload the whole thing and it'll tell you which ones are and which ones aren't. And it won't take that long. As you can see, it hadn't been 5 minutes, so the only thing that's a problem, the only thing slowing you down is having to click that error. So wait, let the script finish, please. So I'm going to let it finish and make sure, even though I'm pretty sure every single one of them is going to come up saying duplicate. That's the first time I've ever done this. And the ones that are taking the longest are the biggest ones, And some of these are, and that's another thing I'm starting to learn, and I may end up, this may not even be the best way to do it. It seemed like a great way when I first, started uploading everything here. But it's something I saw the other day. I'd probably seen it and then forgot it. And don't quote me because of my memory, but I believe it's 3 gigabyte, or is it 2? I should go find it, I guess. I don't know where it is. Check the maximum. If you're going to do all this, if you're going to use this Google Photos, check the maximum file size, because my phones will record 3. I believe I've seen some 3.5 gig video files. And the maximum on that Google Photos will accept is either 2 or 3 gig. There's another one. If it's 2 gig, then I've got, I don't know how many videos that didn't even ever get. Now, I backed the ones, I backed them up on, first I was backing them up on a machine. It was a Windows machine, the one I was using to upload to Google Photos with. And then it got full. And so then I finally I've been wanting to do it for years, and I finally bought me a big, I ended up getting it because it was cheaper than why I got it, but it turned out really good. I got a USB, the 5 terabyte, which is really all you get is 4.5 terabytes to start with. I don't know how they get away with this false advertising, but they do that with hard drives for years now. They used to be when you bought a 10 gigabyte hard drive, you got a 10 gigabyte hard drive. But now they fudge around, and if you read the fine print, they'll say, this is how we rate it, Yeah, you're just lying is what you're doing. So you buy a 5 terabyte, you get 4.5 terabytes to use. And there ain't that much admin, setup files on that thing. There's I looked at them. There's like maybe 100 megabytes worth or something on there to make the system in there work, it's a Seagate, and, and it's got some files to make it work with Windows. But anyway, I thought I was just going to reformat it. I actually thought I might get some space back, which you won't. I did a bunch of research on it. So and it works really well on Windows, Linux. I don't have any Macs. I don't know about that. Well, it wouldn't work on Mac. You would have to reformat it. They tell you that. But so I left it like it is, and I can just plug it into whatever machine I want and quickly back that machine up to it. So I have been back. I made sure and backed up all my phone videos to that hard drive. And now I can plug it into a Windows machine if I wanted to or needed to upload to Google Photos. But if I'm missing every other file, any big files, anything bigger than what Google Photos will accept, then I've just been spinning my wheels here. I'll need to go back and upload straight from my hard drive after all. But I guess what I'll have to do is Well, I could organize them in file size. Here's what I could do. I'll go look at that file size that Google accepts, and I could do it now if I don't want to log down my. Well, thing is, all my bookmarks are in the regular version of Firefox, so I don't think I can find it. And finding stuff in the Google, admin is just really hard for me. Let's just do a plain old Google search. Try that. Google Photos file size limit. Did it tell me? Gives you unlimited space. 16 megapixels. Video resolution 1080p, and that's basically what my phones are considered. Okay. But it didn't tell me what I wanted to know. Wait. Oh, Google Drive. That's different, I think. So let's go to there, I guess. That's talking about video. What year is that? 2015. Well, maybe it'll be current enough. That was a question somebody was having with their. So the only person using the abbreviation GB was somebody writing a statement in there or a question. Yeah, see, I'm using a gig of memory right now with that much going on. It probably didn't make that much difference, but I got to watch out. Let's see. It doesn't seem to me like one that's going to answer my question. So, how much storage is available on Google Drive? That's Drive, not Photos. That's different. It's a different section of it. Okay, now that might have something to do with it. At least that's from Google. This says change the quality. Yeah, well, high quality is what you want to choose, and they will automatically. That's where you get into that. If you do original quality and anything's too big, then you'll end up having to pay for the storage. So 16 megapixels is the largest photo that you can use. 1080p is the highest resolution of video. Well, that's as good as biggest I can make anyway. Yeah, see what I mean about trying to find something in here? Okay, why was it skipped? Photos larger than 75 megabyte or 100 megapixel videos larger than 2 gigabyte. And items smaller than 256 by 256. So it's 2 gigabyte. So, yes, I'm going to have to remember this. You're going to have to consider that if you use Google Photos to back stuff up, and or like if you're trying to do what I'm doing here, using Google Photos to get it all together in an album and then send it over to YouTube. Yeah, it went down a little bit just by getting off that other site. I think I'll just close that page. It's just a search page, but I'll just put that in my basic bookmarks. I'm getting more and more in this version here, but yeah, so I have lots of videos. Now here's the question I had was, is that the size of the original or the converted size? I might have to do some sort of experiment to try and figure that out. And I think, well, I can't remember. YouTube, what does it accept? Either 6 gigabyte or 10 gigabyte. I can't remember. Maybe it's less than 6. I remember I had one particular video that I couldn't upload for years because it was too big. And I thought, well, okay, I'll have to edit it and cut it in half and make it shorter and stuff and smaller. I never have done it. I think now that I could upload it, and that's what got me to thinking about this, and that's how I found this the other day, and had forgot. I've seen it before, I think, and forgot about it. But yeah, that's a huge consideration. So it gets yeah, see, you have to keep clicking on this stuff, and what can I do? Can I do this? Can I do that? So that's a good one to go to. Let's see, what is that? I don't know. Backup photos and videos. That's Google Photos helps where that is, right there. But you can see you can get to it if you kind of search, and then, well, what I ended up, I didn't see the address of it, that it was going to support google.com till after I saw that it sounded like what I was looking for. But you'll just have to sift through all this. Those are particular video files. Now, you can back up MPEG, MOD. I don't know what MOD is. It's funny because some of the most common ones they don't support, like OGV, but they support MOD. Don't know what that is. MMV, don't know what that is. TOD, WMV, yes. ASF, yes. AVI, DivX, DIVX, MOV, M4V, which is an MP4, really. Newer version of it, I think. 3GP from the phone, 3G2. I never saw that before either. I think I've seen an M2T. MKV, yeah, I've seen. So it'll do. That's actually, I think, more than the last list because I had saved it. You know what? I made a screenshot of it, and it doesn't have some of these, right? MOD and stuff. I don't think those are in that screenshot I made. So I guess I better go back to there's some stuff about Mac. Can I back up an Android device using a Mac? Really? Okay. What if I also use Google Drive for my PC? You can create a Google Photos folder in your drive. You might be taking up unnecessary space on your computer if you use these features together. Well, that's what I was doing, is using the Google Photos app on a Windows machine, and what I was able to do is just you could select folders that you wanted it to watch, and I would change that all the time is what I would do, and the reason I would change it and turn it off is because whatever you do on here happens on your machine. So if that machine was up and running and you deleted a file off of Google Photos, and it would delete it off your machine, and that I didn't like. I didn't want that happening. So I would always get that upload done and then disconnect that folder, take it out of there. So, and that's also, well, sometimes the same, like I was saying, the same file was in a different folder, and that's how I would end up. Now, this has ended up taking a long time. I hope I didn't miss these two here. Okay, that one says processing done. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and hit publish all. Maybe that's what it's waiting on now. Everything is done except, well, that one's, all of them are say they're duplicates. This one is actually supposed to be a new file. Maybe I added one to that group, to that, added this bunch, what's album, since I did that last upload. Let's see what happens here. Okay. It says saving. Now, there you go. Now, see, that took forever when I was in Vivaldi, and it would just hang up forever. The browser would be froze up. See, that was just real fast. And so that works good in Firefox. But it's still not done processing. So, it doesn't say that anymore. I don't know if they've changed something. But it doesn't say don't leave this page, leave it open, and until it's done. Used to, everything you did like this on YouTube, it'd say you can leave this page and come back later, no problem. But I don't know, maybe they had trouble with that. Maybe some browsers didn't work right. But now, but it doesn't say that. But as I proved twice today by my mistakes, If you close the browser, it will break that upload. So you got to keep that page open. Keep that browser open. You might be able to get off that page like you can on a lot of other sites for things like this, but it's been actually 15 years ago that they started, setting it up to where they changed the technology to where you could leave the page, you could go off, you could close your browser or whatever, and it would finish. Well, I don't know if you could close your browser. You could leave the page, but so I just expected to be able to do that, when I got in here and started doing this, but you can't now. There's still some websites, if you go to manually, one by one upload a video, if you leave, you break it, but most of them, it wouldn't break it anymore. So I don't know what's going on with all that. It was certainly wonderful when you didn't have to sit right there. Oh, here's one. There's what's going on. I just missed it. Paged up and down too fast. There's one that's not finished. Your video was uploaded. Once processing is complete, your video can be found at. Okay, so it's being processed. I guess this was that's an MP4 from my phone, an accepted format. Maybe it was this may be what's happening. I guess I need to try to figure that out. How am I going to figure that out? Okay, let's see. I don't know if this is a good example, but can I do that? If I can see, when I highlight that, it highlights it all. Get off of there. Try from the right. Sometimes if you start from the right side and go back, that won't let you. It's either, I'm afraid I'm going to end it. There we go. Oh, that scared me. It opened it up. I'm afraid I'm going to end that. Okay, there we go. Oh. Okay, now then, Control C for copy. I'm not going to try clicking on that again. Let's see if it got it. Now what I'm going to do is get over here on my backup drive. See if I can search for it. I'll just stay on the whole thing because it's in one of these my phone videos. Those aren't in my videos folder. They're in my phone folders. Let's see if I can. Yep, it worked. Don't need case sensitive. It'll take a little while, but I'll see how big that file is and see if it's converting these things. Now my machine's getting a little overwhelmed. I may not be able to do that. Let's see. Where's Crusader? So it's not showing up as a big user, but my mouse is getting a little laggy. I can feel it. As long as it doesn't do too much, I'll be all right. Yeah, everything's reasonable. I mean, that's been like that ever since I got to uploading these photos. It's just how much that script uses. What kind of script are they using that's that heavy on your resource usage? But this page here, I don't remember where I was in it now. Google Drive sync from your Mac. I was here, I think. Yeah. So, yeah, there are Google Photos. There's a Google Photos app you can download by clicking up around on the Google Photos page. I'm going to close this to give my machine a little less trouble there. It's got about 3 minutes left before it's done. So yeah, if you want to be like me and do a bunch of them, then you're going to have to really fiddle around with it to get it to work. But what I want to know now is, are all of my phone videos that are over 2 gigabytes being skipped, or are they being converted and made smaller? When you upload the first time up to Google Photos, are they just flat being skipped, or are they being converted? Since I'm using that of a good file, of a good quality, quote, you didn't see me doing that 2-finger thing. I didn't do that. Or really, I didn't. I promise. Well, okay, maybe I did it with one hand. I'll stop that. Okay, yeah, I hate that 2-finger quote thing. That's so dorky. And I'm not dorky. I'm cool. Okay, so the search hasn't finished yet. But I gave it too much to search. I should have just searched my phone folders over here. I just thought, well, I don't want to do each one of them one at a time. It doesn't take that long to do the whole thing. Yeah, right. Because you only have like let's see, what am I? I'm down to 3.9 terabytes, so that is 4. Okay, it had 4.5, so it's got a little over a half a terabyte of data on there. That's half a terabyte is what? Terabyte is 1,000 gigabytes thereabouts. So anyway, you do the math. I can't do it, but that's a bunch. This Crusader search is really pretty darn fast. But make sure I'm still in the right mode here, so I'm seeing what I'm talking about. But yeah, what I want to know is this file here that's being processed. Is that, I mean, it normally doesn't take a real long time for one thing, like this. And what I'm wondering is, since this one was the one file that actually did upload, for one thing. Well, no, there was two. This one, oh, it's not done either. So which one did I just copy the file name of? I didn't know there was two of them. For some reason, those two files are still being processed. One of them I'm searching for. So I actually added, either they didn't get uploaded the first time, or I added them unknowingly later, What's that? Is that another one that uploaded? Looks like that one uploaded too. So it's a good thing I did this. There's 3 files out of that whole bunch that I would have skipped by accident. And then when I tried to sort them, I'd be like, I'm pretty sure I made it. Maybe I'd say I'm pretty sure I made another video, but where is it? So yeah. What I don't know, and what I would hopefully figure out here, I don't know if this will actually help me. I guess what I really need to do is go in there and find a big file, and then see if I can find it in my either on my Google Photos or in my YouTube videos that I've already uploaded. And then if I do find it with the same name, then I'll find out, has it been resized, to make it work. What I'm not sure is, does Google Photos resize them all to a, almost did it. Keep those fingers down. I almost resized it to I didn't do that. To the smaller size that they accept, or does it just skip it? But this I hate to I don't want to stop the search. I keep thinking, okay, what should I stop this search and start just in the particular folders where I know it's going to be either in Don's Phone 1, 2, or 3 there. And I thought, well, I don't want to. I'll just search the whole thing. It won't take that long. Well, because I did it recently and it was surprisingly fast. But I must have went off and did other things and just forgot about it. It wasn't as fast as I thought, because I didn't know you could click on those while that was happening. I just was clicking there thinking, well, it'll just kind of show where my mouse is, but you can actually click on them. I didn't think that window was active while this search window was active. Where is it in there? My websites. Oh, I forgot about all those folders in there. That's my backup of my website. My blog, not my regular website, it has enough stuff in there, but my blog has, several thousand pages in it. Been doing it for quite a few years. I don't remember. All I'm going to say, I'll say the wrong year. But I'm at the top, but it doesn't have anything up there. I wonder if it's done. I think it may be done. Let's see. I didn't see anything in there. Maybe it goes like that one. Well, it should. There's 3 in there, but I don't see anything but just that one. There's one. Okay. So what? After all that, they turned out to be duplicates? Is that what they're telling me? Why were they processing them? But I'm going... See, I know I've skipped them before by going too fast, but I'm going slow this time. it did work. And I really don't know why this one is sitting there like that, unless it's the only one that actually worked. I suppose if I click on that file, it may go over there and play the video, and it is.
On here. Okay.
Oh.
Got my easy to boot.
Is that what in the world?
SD card and the USB adapter in there, and my.
That says live now at the bottom. Oh, I see. That's an advertisement for my channel that's automatically coming up. Confused me. So I could have. I wonder if hitting reload will make it come back up. So I could have clicked on my live stream. Yeah, there we go. So I could go see what's going on my live stream. So I could have. Yep, heard what I just said. So it goes right to where you are in the stream. And there's the live chat section. So I can get out of there because it's confusing when I hear my own self in an echo. Okay, so there was one video uploaded. And so that other video is probably not a good example anyway. So I may as well stop that. Really the way I should do that is, I know that phone number 1 would have some big videos, and I'll go by, of course there's pictures and videos in those folders. Go by side. Now see, some videos that didn't work, they're 0 file size, and you don't need those. They're broken, they can never be fixed. I'm going to delete those. What'll happen is they try to they'll get uploaded to, or they'll try to get uploaded to Google Photos. I'm going to be careful. Those are my backups. And delete something I don't mean to. Let's see what my machine is doing. Yeah, it's actually using a little more memory. So that's all finished. And here's what I'm going to do to try to help my machine is close the browser, let it expunge all that, and what's going on here? Oh, I guess I just wasn't. I must not have had my deal. Yeah, I just didn't have it at the top. See, 3.8 gigabytes. Several of them that big. Now, those evidently have been skipped. So I guess I need to upload those to YouTube. That's what I guess. That'll take a while. I started to say I'll do that right now, but that'll take a while. If I was going to do, I'd probably do one in a video. Getting that many started at once, I don't know how long that would take. I would probably start with that 2 gigabyte to make that one there to make sure that it might have got skipped for all I know. The 2.1 would, I would imagine. But what I was thinking is I could do one. To see, I could do like one of the bigger ones, one that I would really expect to have been skipped. Do it. Well, I haven't uploaded all my others. See, I don't know where it sets in the group. I don't know if those are on. Well, I guess I could search for this file. Let's see. Right click, properties. See, I think I can search by file name on Google Photos. Let's see if that file name is on Google Photos. Now, I'm getting nervous about being in my backup drive there. That's the only copy I have of those. A lot of my stuff, I try to have more than one copy, but I don't of that stuff because I just didn't have the space to do that, Let's go to Google Photos. Now, I'm in my regular photos, so I'm going to search for that. No results. Now, I guess I need to go back where I was. Getting too nervous there. I don't absolutely know for sure that every file in here has been uploaded. So you know what? I'm beginning to see that my whole system is flawed because I don't know if I'm getting everything. The thing I liked about it is I could organize them into groups. Okay, let's go to YouTube. Find one that I know has already been all the way uploaded to YouTube, like this one right here. Can I copy that? Yep. I'm wondering what that is. We'll look at that in a minute. Oh, upload failed duplicate. Okay. Now, but it doesn't matter. If it's a duplicate, then it's already in there. Now what? Oh, I want to go to Photos and look for it. Well, of course it's in Photos. I want to go to my phone and see how big the original file was. So is it in there? I guess I'll have to try them one at a time. It's really you can search a group of folders, but it's kind of tricky to get it to happen. Not too tricky. Well, you have to add them from right there, and it just gets to be a pain. There it is. So that's it. And it just so happened I got lucky and it was in that one. And I think I can play it from there. I don't think that worked. Oh, it just, what did it do? I think it just went to that folder or something. If you try to open it, then it will just, if you say view file, it won't play it in VLC. It'll just open it up in the text viewer, and that won't be any good. So, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm pretty sure the big file did not get uploaded. Like say this one. So what I'm going to do is say upload, and let's see how. Yeah, okay. So now what I can do is drag and drop it over there, let it upload, and if it's a duplicate, I'll know right away. It's really not a very good test because I don't know where I am, and you know there's a bunch of them that haven't ever even been tried to be uploaded from Google Photos. But I'll know for sure whether or not I can upload a 3.8 gigabyte file to YouTube. Go back into that folder just to make sure I'm not going to mess anything up. So, how long will it take? It probably will. I'm going to say it's going to take anywhere from 5 to 35 minutes. I don't know for sure. I really don't. And since I want this to happen, I'm going to do, I think the quickest thing I can do, I have to take a little break right quick. And last time I shut down the whole deal, but there's nobody here wanting to chat with me or anything, so chances are there won't be. So I'm going to put up, how can I get to it? Let's see. Trying to get to my little, I don't think I can do it over here on the, I tried it the other day. Tried putting something, let's try it, let's see. And it wouldn't work. Let's try it. It worked. It worked. Okay, so I was over on my laptop and I just typed a little note in the chat. So we'll just leave it at that. And I'll just play a little background music here. I can't remember which one it was, though. That's the only thing about that. I'll just page through them until I find the one I wanted to play. You know what? It doesn't matter. I'll just leave it like that. But I'll get over here and show. Okay, I'll be right back as soon as I can. Well, okay, I'm back. Looks like that upload's going to take a long time, doesn't it? 2 hours and 47 minutes. It may not take that long. Hopefully, it wouldn't take any longer than that. I can't remember the last time I did a I call a manual upload like this. Good thing I didn't pick more than one file. But I mean, it's fine. I'll get that. Now I know I probably have, what was that in that folder there. Make sure I'm in the right section. Yeah, still on screencast. Let's move that over to a different desktop. That way I might want to use it again. Okay. I'm not on that folder anymore. There we go. Are we still in the... No, I changed the order. There we go. So that, I'm pretty sure, is the one. So there's that one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 more that I'd want to upload. Of course, if that one gets to the end and says, oh, that's a duplicate, then I'll know that I'm not being skipped by Google Photos. But, again, it's not going to be a real true test because... Okay, we're doing good in our memory, though. Well, you see you got two... that one that says web, that's part of Firefox. So you've got 534 and 223, 323. But a while ago, I had something like that, and plus another gig on top of it. So doing a little better. VLC's not doing a lot, but actually my mouse is just... I can always tell when it's a little sluggish. So anytime you're uploading, if for some reason it works the browser really hard, and this one does, I guess, better. It says it's at 8%. Seems like sometimes after they get going good, they speed up. The time starts clicking off way quicker than the estimate. So hopefully that'll be the case. But it may take an hour. And of course, I've already been going an hour and 17 minutes, so I'm not going to sit here, just record all that. But I'm glad I started it now. I'm wondering, I would like to start another group transfer. I'm kind of scared to. That's why I was going on about how much it's using. If I go do that and it ends up using, another gig on top of that, I'll be really pushing this machine to the max that it can handle. But, heck, might as well find out. The easy way or the hard way? I think I'm just going to try one more smaller group. Let's see what groups I have. Let's go look at my albums first. I'm getting into photos. Let's see what happens. Okay, I clicked on photos. It's not making it jump up right now. Hadn't even got there yet, though. Let's wait till it gets there. It's definitely not working real fast. Of course, the upload, I start to say the upload is going to be using, it is using a lot of bandwidth because I have 4 megabits upload speed, 4 megabits per second upload speed, or is that per minute? I don't remember. 4 megabits upload speed. And so whatever it's using, I don't know. It's kind of, for a second there I thought, I can't. I don't want to start another one because that'll really take up on my upload speed, but it's not actually uploading. It's not going to be... That's what I was saying about this whole time. It's not actually taking any data from my machine other than the instructions, from the script. And why that script overpowers uses up so much of my resources, I just don't understand. I've used Yum Package Manager for Linux. I've used download scripts, to download. I have one from my own Fedora machine. It has like 3,500 apps on it, and I can set that to running when I build a new machine. I can't do it anymore because they don't use Yum anymore. They use DNF, and there's no bunch of reasons, 2 or 3 reasons there. But I used to, if I was building like a Fedora 16 or 18 machine, I would set it up with the basic Fedora and then start that script running, and it would install 95%, 98% of those scripts, or some of them would error out and not work for various reasons. But it would install, it would run it usually about 2 hours and install all that stuff. And I have a 60 megabit download. Well, back then I probably had anywhere from 30, somewhere between 30 and 60 down. And each time they bring up the download speed, they'll bring up the upload speed a little bit, but not near enough. I mean, with 60 megabit down and only 4 up, you really don't have. Everything you do, not just uploading files, depends on your upload speed. So really, they make it sound good with a big sounding download speed, but without the upload speed to match, then you're not really going to be able to move that much data, because everything has to talk both ways. It's just some things need more. Of course, obviously, uploading needs the most. But anyway, when you're doing from Google Photos to Google YouTube, then you're just telling those servers what to do, and they're transferring the files. So yeah, it wouldn't hurt my. It's steadily clicking off, but I saw it click from 3 to 2. But anyway, I don't know. It could end up taking that full of almost nearly 3 hours. And it's getting late enough that I'll be in there getting a shower while it's finishing up for sure. But my schedule, I'm always letting my schedule slip and change. But I got up at 6:30 this morning, so I don't want to stay up late tonight. This one, how many's in this other one? Okay, I did number 2. Now number 3 only has 14 items. Don's computer's number 3. I was thinking one of them didn't have very many. And so let me go over here and look at my. It's gone up some. It's climbing on up. So I was thinking, I'm going to do it, but now this is already up to 690 megabytes plus that 332. That's staying the same. And the only thing I have done is just open up this page. So let's click on YouTube, see if it goes down any. No, it's just gone up so far. Of course, it could have been on its way up anyway. Looks like I'm not going to be able to try another transfer, upload, anything. Looks like just opening another page is too much. So, yeah, I don't know what it is about YouTube. And it does this. I thought, well, if I quit trying to use Firefox, because I knew Firefox and didn't work near as well on Chrome, and people sometimes call that kind of stuff the browser wars and stuff, and I don't know if they do it on purpose or not. But whatever it is, the scripting and code they use on the YouTube website doesn't work didn't used to work near as well on Firefox as it did in Chrome. But Chrome is such a resource hog, I always try to avoid it. Now I can't use it at all. Definitely can't open up another browser at the same time. This machine can't handle it, because the other one would be doing just as much. It would just double my usage and even more. Even if I've even tried once opening up Vivaldi, because it only uses up about 300 megabytes. I could try that, but I think what it is on this machine with this very low, it's a quad core Lenovo. It's an i5. Lenovo's the brand. i5 Intel processor, quad core, 4 gig of RAM. And of course that's like low to medium range machine these days, but that's the best I've got. But 256 megabytes, no gigabytes here, video onboard, video memory. And I believe it's a separate chip, not built into the processor, if I remember right. I looked at the board before, but and I've looked at the specs too, but I don't remember them exactly. But you can go on like cpu.org or whatever it is and look all that up if you know what processor you have. But now other machines that that have even the laptops do better. Like actually the Dell 1525 laptop, it has like 328 of video memory, and it's only a dual core, but it's a separate video chip, because this was before they started coming out with all these combined chips. This older machine, it'll do better with video than this machine here, and that just blew my mind. And then I started looking at that video memory and thinking about it, and I go, oh well, no wonder. So yeah, I don't think I'm going to dare open up another. I was going to try doing another transfer while this one was going on, wherever it is. What I need to do then is close that page and quit giving it extra stuff to do. it's steadily working, but it seems maybe like the minute, yeah, I think the minutes are counting down quicker than a minute. I think it's taking less than a minute for them to click off. They're not going really fast, but I think that's faster than just, a real true minute. So that's good. But see, it's dropped some. I don't imagine it'll drop much more than that, though. But 666 megabytes out of, good, it changed, of 3.7 gigabytes. Now it's back up, though. That's not a good change. That's the wrong direction. So, and then right here, 343. It's a little different when you let it do the drop down than what you see in the actual window up there. Well, that's because that's in megabytes and that's in kilobytes. So, but that's a pretty good. You can kind of estimate it. See, it's pretty close. 351.716 kilobytes is 343.4 megabytes. That's why it's different. But it's a fairly close estimate when you just look at it like that. So that's 747.3 megabytes. So, and of course 3.7 gigabytes, that's my total usage available, RAM available to the machine, because the rest is being used in video memory. And of course you don't really get, even if I didn't have if you have an external video card, a dedicated video card, then you're still not going to get your full RAM. There's still a little bit taken out there for various sundry things. Actually, well, there is a little bit taken out by the BIOS, I think, or something. No, not the BIOS. Anyway, I forgot. I used to could kind of say it, know all that, but I do remember you don't see whatever you have in there. You won't ever see the full RAM, show up in your system available to use. You'll see it in BIOS, or you can see it in an application like this, a system monitor application. But anyway, this low video memory really is a killer. This is really not actually a true desktop machine. It is what they used to call a Windows terminal. I've got a couple of those that were Windows XP. They have 512 megabytes of flash memory, IDE flash memory, plugs into the IDE connector on the motherboard. That's what they run off of. I've got two that work and one that doesn't, but this one has a regular hard drive in it, and I think it's 250 gigabytes or something. And all in all, pretty good specs except for the video memory, and that's what kills you on surprisingly. Especially web browser, even though you're not watching videos, you're just doing this. Surprisingly, and I've watched. I've been using this thing every day for at least a year now, maybe more. And you're like, I'm not using up so much RAM that it should be lagging. I mean, I'm using. If you totaled all that up, actually, you can go over here and see what you're using. There's what it's doing, and there's the 4 CPU cores. Not any of them working super hard. I've seen it lots of times when I'm doing things where it'll be 100% on this one and 100% on that one, and it'll keep swapping back and forth. And it'll just keep the whole time you're doing whatever process it is you're doing, say like some video encoding, transcoding, converting an OGB to MP4 or something. The whole time that application's running, 2 of your cores will be running 100%, but it'll keep swapping from one to the other. Now in here, memory, 1.8 gigabyte total being used of 3.7 gigabyte, and the swap, well, that's being written to the hard drive, but it's 0.12 gigabyte of 3.7 gigabyte of swap. Now that's to really help relieve your RAM, but it doesn't. I don't know. I don't pay a lot of attention to it, but I never have seen my swap full on a Linux system. And they set it up. They try to avoid it because it's slower, than using the RAM. But I'm sure if my RAM was way up there, like if I was using 3 gig of RAM, then it would start writing more to swap, I think. But I actually don't ever really remember to look at it. If my machine's in that kind of trouble, I don't get over here and look at it, because this uses more overall resources just to use this page, because it's got all these graphics on it. But and then in the network, that's showing my network transfer. And there you go. That's how much data is being sent right there. 0.76 megabytes MIB. That's actually, I found out, I always thought when people write MIB, they didn't know what the heck they were doing. And that's actually supposed to be the official way to write megabytes. Most everybody writes MB, and that's how I learned it. But I went and looked somewhere and found what's supposedly the official ways to write things. And because one time I saw somebody commenting on some website, all you dummies don't know how to write it right. You should say MIB. And I was like, what? What, Men in Black? And so I thought, okay, I'll go look it up. And sure enough, they knew what they were talking about. They're just being a troll, being smart aleck. But because the whole if everybody understands you, what's the difference? To the most part, anyway. Receiving CPU says 10%, I guess, overall usage of the CPU. And then right here it says, 1.9 to 3.7, the same as that right there. And then the swap, 122.5 megabytes of 3.7 gigabytes. So that's what 0.12 of a gigabyte is, 122.5 megabytes. So, see, there's a little spike right there, but other than that, everything is pretty level. And that's a little higher in the RAM usage right there right now. So this what it takes out of your machine though, out of this machine. Well, what I was trying to say though, and there's not anything about the video usage in there though, and I wish there was. And I think there's some that you can see that in, but I don't really remember what it would be. Some applications, but I didn't know you could do that. Hold it right there, and it'll give you a little drop down. Wonder if they all do that. Yep, they sure do. But it tells you individually all the network devices. But yeah, that's not going very fast. I would actually prefer. I've got 4 megabits up. If that's any relation to the, that's actual megabytes of data. That's not this, megabit speed. So that's a little more. But I would prefer that it would let's say like if you use BitTorrent applications, you can set the allowed up and down, and I always do that so that I can't get my I want it to go as fast as it can, but I don't want my sharing of whatever, like if I download Fedora or Debian or something with the BitTorrent app, and I'll let it share for a while when it's done, and I don't want it to be overwhelming my upload connection. I don't want it slowing down my surfing, So anyway, right now, I would like to be able to make the upload faster, and I don't know of any way to do that. Perhaps in some kind of settings in Firefox if you got into the expert mode. But then I'd forget and leave it like that, and I'd be messing things up and wouldn't know why, But, I'd prefer it right now to go faster to get this done, I'd prefer it to go up to if I could, go up to 3 megabits, and leave 1 megabit of headroom there for everything else. Or at least 2.5, but I don't know how to do that, so you're just stuck. So there you go. This is why I keep going round and round and round trying to make the Google Photos transfer. That's why I've been doing it this way, because when you take, even if you just, if you did if you got happy with making videos like I did ever since I got those phones back in the summer. I got these 3 phones. They're for $14.88 each from Wally World. 3 little phones, and little Android phones. And that's why I got them for, is for pocket computers and for cameras, because I didn't have a camera. I had one that wasn't very hot. Had a good lens as a Nikon camera with a Nikon lens, but it was only like 1.7 megapixels or 2.1 megapixels, I think. But anyway. And it would do like 15-second silent videos. It wouldn't do real videos or anything. So I've been having a great time, with these 3. I can do 2 and 3. I can do 2 cameras. Now that I've figured out how to do this wireless thing, like I have this, when I have my camera over here like this, I could do 2 more if I had the bandwidth on my network, and I'm going to try another one here pretty soon, and then I'll have one for close-ups and then one this wide shot over here, and I'll have my desktop shot, and see if I can. As long as my bandwidth can handle it, then it'd be pretty cool. But so the Google Photos, I don't know. I went in a 180-degree circle there, 360-degree circle, I think. This is what I don't want to have to do, is upload these files one at a time and wait this long, especially since I can't do anything else. I guess if I set it up and do it with my laptop, it'd be the only thing to do, because it doesn't matter if it's doing as much as it can possibly handle, so what? Other than the fan in that darn thing rattles when it's working hard, and it drives me crazy. And I usually try not to use it much during the day because I don't want to get it hot, because then it's making noise, the fan's rattling, and actually the audio will start making noise when it gets hot too, when the power supply gets hot. And then when usually I actually haven't been doing it for a couple of months, hardly much at all, but what I always like to do is quit early enough to, get me a shower, go get my supper, and sit down on the bed and watch some video, some TV on the TV, but what is always from the laptop. It's something off the internet or something off my big hard drive that I have. Watch something and relax before I go to sleep. But what I've been doing is either recording until I go to bed, like making a video like I'm doing right now, or last 3 days I didn't feel good, and I just sat there and watched videos all day, and then next thing I knew, it was time to go to bed. Of course, I'd been watching videos all day, so it didn't matter where I sat and watched them, as long as I was comfortable. But I keep seeing that maximum file size, 2 megabytes, and I'm like, huh? Now, I think it says 2 gigabytes in my head, and then it's megabytes. And custom thumbnail. So, as much as I want to, I keep forgetting about that, because I really think that uses more resources. Oddly enough, especially on some of the other machines that already are, not that powerful anyway. When you open this system monitor up, it will sit there and run for between 10 and 15% of their CPU resources just for this to be running. And the dual cores can do it okay, but anything like a single core, it'll do that to it. And so I'll just open it up for a little bit to see, but the thing is, it needs to already, if your machine slows down and it stops responding and you want to kill that offending app, this needs to already be running, or else you'll never get it open, So I just, as a rule, how I normally run my machines, I open Thunderbird here, that's where I shut it down because I'm not using it, and I put my OBS Studio there. Web browser there, Thunderbird, Crusader over there, and then, whoops, I want to get that out of that. I'm always afraid I'll forget and delete something out of that drive. That's my backup drive, that USB. And then my system monitor to the far right. And then if I decide to open more things, I'll put them in one of these windows here. It just works really well for me. I can just flip really fast. And but you can only do that if your machine is not being overworked. And that's only up to 20%. If your machine's not being overworked, then you're good. I just start feeling like, things may not be working, but my stream looks good, especially since I left and came back. I'm like, the audio might not be working, or this might not be working. I know what's wrong. It says, I'll be right back, and I didn't change it. I'm back. I can't reach up to that keyboard to type without moving my microphone. Yeah, I tried to put a preemptive message on there one time, and it wouldn't take it. And I guess what you have to do is, I would go show it, but that'd be too much more usage on the. I did it over there on the laptop. I have a wireless keyboard and mouse hooked up to it so that I can control it without. I can actually switch my KVM switch and do that too if I want it, because it is hooked up, but and that's how I can control. I actually have another keyboard identical to this one you see when I show myself here. I have another one just like it over there that in my rack, and I can just stick it over there on my bed and use it. It has a real nice big volume knob. It's easy to change. I was using the wireless keyboard for a while, but the volume is so hard, much harder to use. But I sure did like it being light and easy to move around, and no cables to get hung up, to hang up on anything. So I don't think the machine can handle it. Now it's the longer it runs, the more memory it'll use. So what I'm concerned about is that before it gets done, it could get up to 2-3 gigabytes. It'll just keep climbing. And that's this web application. See, web content. Process ID 100486. Does it say anything else? Number of threads 28. Anything else that I can tell? Parent Firefox. Well, I knew that because I never see it unless Firefox is running. Actually, I only see it when Firefox developer version is running, and I'm doing, or at least the only time I remember seeing it is when I'm doing an upload on YouTube like this. I saw it. I think I saw that. Something just like it. Probably the same thing when I was using Vivaldi to do this stuff. I'm trying to read that command there. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Of course, it opened up automatically. It didn't. It's usually not there just because you're running Firefox developer version. It happens when you're on YouTube and doing these uploads, and I think it does it. Well, yeah, it was doing it earlier when I was just transferring to. So I guess it's a script that's on this admin page that's making that open up. I guess that is that script. I guess. I mean, it doesn't say anything there to tell me that, but that's going to be my guess. But it's already full. Okay. It's 10 gigabyte, 1 gigabyte even is what this is saying it is. That's a lot of memory just to upload a file. Why? Doesn't make any sense whatsoever. It's like, web development and tech has gone backwards instead of forwards. I mean, back when I was running Windows 98 or XP, before I even discovered Linux, you didn't have but 512 megabyte of RAM. 256, 512 megabytes. Anything that had a gig of RAM was like a super machine, supercomputer. But let's see. Yeah, my machine I had back then, the one I built, that I put XP on in, 02 or 3 or something. Whatever year XP came out. It is capable of 2 gig of RAM, but it was so expensive, I never got it until like a year ago. Got down to $10 a stick, and I got 2 gig of RAM. I got 2 gig of RAM and everything that would take it, of that regular old DDR RAM. Yeah, DDR. Yeah, the first one, first level of DDR RAM, and then the next one was DDR1. Yeah, let's see, or did they just call it DDR2? Anyway, I don't know. Of course, now my other machines, like I have a motherboard that in one of my machines that would actually take an 8-core processor, but it will only actually take 4 gig? Yeah, I think 4 gig of RAM. It's kind of almost like a hybrid motherboard or something. I really like it, and I didn't buy it to build a super machine. I bought it as a replacement motherboard I thought my mother's computer motherboard, hard to say. My mom's computer, I thought her motherboard had gone out. And turned out, check the switch first. I checked it 100 times, but it finally showed itself to me, and it was just the power switch. I actually had another switch, put it in there, and it's been fine ever since. But the way it was acting, I can't remember how to go into it. I thought it was the motherboard. And so I had already bought another motherboard, and it did the same thing. That's how I finally figured it out. At first it worked, and then it didn't work. First it worked, then it didn't work. Finally figured it out. It was an intermittent open circuit in the switch. Actually, no. It was staying closed intermittently. And so when the machine tried to power on, it would shut right back down. It was sticking in a closed position, the switch was. And you couldn't see it physically that it was doing that. And so once I finally figured it out and replaced the switch, it was good. So then had another motherboard, come across another machine. Their motherboard died, and it just so happened it was a AMD machine, and there was a 2 gig of RAM in it, And the way this ASRock, it's an ASRock motherboard, I meant to say that at the beginning, it will take anything from a dual-core AMD processor to an AMD 8-core FX processor. It's dual cores and the like, up to I think maybe quad cores. We'll use DDR2, and it'll take up to actually it'll take up to 4 gigabyte of two 2 gigabyte sticks. There's 4 slots, but 2 of them are for DDR2 and the other 2 are for DDR3. But it's really versatile. I mean, you can replace the motherboard in a lot of different machines with that. So I thought that's a good thing to have, So, and it did turn out good. So right now it's running that dual core. I just went ahead and I got that machine. I just went ahead and I said, well, I'll take. If you don't want the old machine, I'll take it and take it off your labor for. I'll end up building a new machine. They wanted a new one. First, I offered them that motherboard, and they said, well, I think I want a new one. So okay. So anyway, I put the motherboard in there, and in the 2 gig two dual core AMD processor and the 2 gig of RAM that was in it, and it's been running fine like that ever since. Doesn't have much of a power supply, really low power, so it's not really worth, if I bought an 8 core and spent like $240 for an 8 core FX, and then 2 can't remember if it'll take 2 4 gigs or I think the maximum it'll do is 4 gig of memory, and that's why I haven't done it. I'll have to go look again, but could be that it'll take 2 4 gigs and do 8 gig. But anyway, and then I'd have to buy DDR3 memory as well. Then I'd have to buy a power supply, and then I don't like that box. I certainly wouldn't want to have that cool of a system inside of an ugly eMachines box. But yeah, it's an eMachines box, but I don't look at it very much. I try not to. But anyway, yeah, eMachines had bad cap syndrome, so I always heard they were pretty crappy made machines, and yes, they were. I don't think they're even in business anymore, but or whoever owned it and bought it don't make them by that brand anymore. But anyway, I could build a 8-core AMD FX like I've been wanting. Of course, now they're getting to be the old ones, so keep thinking they'll go down cheap enough, and that's what I'll get. I've been wanting one since the first came out, and what I built those people was a 6-core AMD. Pretty darn good machine, and it had 8 gig of RAM. Yeah, 8 gig of RAM. I didn't figure they'd ever need more than that. They're older people. They're in my mom's generation, and I didn't figure they'd need it. And I made them a bunch of how-to videos on it, and boy, it did good. Transcoding those videos and everything. But you could slow it down with your web browser. You could slow it down with a bunch of flash and stuff. You wouldn't lock it up or anything, but you could slow it down and you could notice it. You start running like say if I was encoding a video and doing something that involved a bunch of flash on the internet at the same time, you're like, what the heck? This thing is slowing down. That's the first time that happened. I was like, huh? Then I said, oh, I am transcoding a video, and because I would edit it in KDN Live and set it to transcoding, and then I do a bunch of desktop videos and stuff, and then I'd have to edit them because I wanted to make them good as I could. And anyway, you could slow it down, and I'm sure you could slow down on an 8-core too if you give it enough to do. But sure would beat the heck out of these ones I've got. Of course, having several, even though they're all mostly old giveaways that people got tired of, thought they were broke, or they were broke, and I fixed them and stuff like that. It's nice to have them though. But definitely this quad core is an improvement over those dual cores. They were just getting to where they couldn't keep up anymore. I'm afraid that actually, if my laptop here, my dual core laptop, gets to where it can't play videos good, and I can put the Bane on it, and it'll be that'll be a lot less resource hungry than Fedora. I'm going to put the Fedora 25 on it, and if it works good, then I'll leave it like that. If it doesn't, I'll go to the Bane. But then the thing about the Bane is it may be a little harder. Well, maybe not. I used the Bane as my main OS for 2 years, right when Etch and a Half came out, which was 5 or something. around 4.5, 5, and but then the thing I noticed is the updates and everything. I had it for automatic updates, but my flash would get updated like 3 to 6 months behind the flash updates. It would get so much behind that videos wouldn't work, and I'd be like, what the heck, and then if I'd go manually update flash, then it would they'd start playing, but it was always a pain. And so that's actually kind of why I went back to Fedora. That, and I had learned on Fedora with Fedora 5, and I was used to the Yum package manager and just everything about Fedora. And I don't know, just so many things I just like better about Fedora. People think a lot of people don't like it, over Debian and stuff, or Ubuntu, which is Ubuntu is what I call it, because it's all bent up. Because it's I never had anything but trouble with that. I don't like it, but it's built on Debian, so I'd rather just start with Debian and do it the way I want it. But what I'm doing here on this machine is, I've showed this before. Okay, I don't even know why I'm even doing this. So here's Firefox Developer. That's what I'm using right now. I just downloaded it, unzipped it, and put it in a folder, and it just so happened that it gives its own folder name, Firefox. But I already made it a folder, so I ended up inside a folder inside a folder, but it doesn't hurt the way it works. And it actually worked good because Firefox, the one that I use all the time, I just unzipped it straight to Home Don, and there's the Firefox, which I put an icon for them both right up here. But the one that's actually installed, now those are just running, like you could say in portable mode, or in what would be another way the way I like to say that sometimes. And I forgot, went blank, but .mozilla, that is the installed version right there. That's the one that's actually installed on the machine. But it wasn't getting updated fast enough, just like I was talking about, because Fedora 23 is at end of life, and actually I don't guess it'll be getting updated anymore now, but it had slowed down and wasn't getting updated. And so I had learned to do this in the past with my Fedora 14 machine, which I used all the way up, every day, all the way up until 2 years ago when I started with Fedora 23 on this machine, when I got this machine. So I've been using this machine for about 2 years now. 23, 24, 25. So Fedora 14, what I did was the same thing. I just downloaded Firefox, unzipped it to a folder, and ran it in standalone mode. That's what I really call it. Standalone mode. It's not installed. It's not necessarily portable. It's not designed to move it around on a USB stick. That'd be a little bit different configuration, because all this .mozilla stuff would not be there, and you'd have problems. This, you'd have to have that on your portable drive too, something to make that work. So maybe you could just copy that from a running system or something. But I've seen portable apps for Windows and Linux, and they're set up specifically so that it all works. If you're going to do it, it's easier just to download someone's done it for you that really knows what they're doing, I would say. But unless you're one of those people. But actually in Fedora 14, what it used to do is all the flash and everything that was installed in here would automatically work in the one you were running in standalone mode. But it doesn't do that in Fedora 23, and I hadn't noticed it until one day I ran across the page and it says you need flash in order to do this. I'm like, huh? And so I got it. I knew I had it, and I knew it was supposed to. I knew I had even updated it recently. I don't think it does it. Oddly enough, Fedora 14 to this day will update flash automatically if you have it set to do that. But in Fedora 23, I believe you have to do it manually, and Java as well, which I got to where I don't use Java. I use Ice-T. It's a Linux open source kind of version of Java, or answer to Java, or whatever. And it will update automatically. It takes its time at it, but it will do it. But Flash, I believe you still have to do manually in Fedora 23, and I guess probably some of the earlier ones too. But I thought, well, heck. I thought, okay, so I just opened up the one. If I want to do that, I just go over here and go to Applications, go to Internet, and there it is. And of course, they look exactly the same. The only way you can tell the difference is if you open it up and you go to Help, and go to About Firefox. See, this is Fedora 53.0A2. See, this is even newer than the one I'm running. It's 52, I believe. So maybe that little yellow bar that comes up, maybe that's what's fixing to happen with this one. I hadn't thought about that. This is like the rough and ready version. This is the newest version you could get, I guess. Other than, like, you can get the beta version or whatever, but whatever they call it, testing or something. So anyway, yeah, 53. I didn't know it was that new. So so if I run across something that, if I'm on a Flash video site or something that still uses Flash, then I just go up here and open it up from there. Otherwise, most of the time I don't notice it. I don't need it. I mean, most of the Flash that's on the websites these days is just aggravating advertisements, and I've got blockers. Well, this one doesn't. It just has, it has ad block, but I've got all kinds of blockers and tracker blockers in this one here. So many that I got several. I've probably got 15 add-ons in there, and I had to take a few out recently. One of them got old. They quit updating in it, and it was a year old. And it turned out it was causing. If you see in any of my other videos, where whenever I get on if I'm in regular Firefox here, and I didn't know at the time what was going on or why. If I get in these pages, these upload pages, or any YouTube admin pages, it would keep getting script errors over and over again until it would lock up the machine and I'd have to reboot it. It was this one particular add-on I had, and doggone it, I can't remember the name of it. But I finally, once I installed it, it even got to where I couldn't even watch YouTube videos. And that's when I finally said, okay, I got to find this. And it took me, I think it actually ended up taking me 2 sessions in 2 different days, but I made a video of it, so you can go back to I think it's in I think I gave it the right name where you can find it. I made a live stream of it, but I found it, uninstalled it, and I won't try to say it because I don't even remember. There's so many of them, but I had to go through them. I disabled a whole bunch of them, and then that didn't help. Left them disabled, a bunch of them that I thought Mike could do it, or just the newest ones I'd put on there. And then I just started disabling every add-on that had anything to do with YouTube. And finally came across it. So I uninstalled it, and then everything was fine. So then I enabled all the ones I wanted, and actually 2 or 3 I thought, well, I don't need those, so I uninstalled them. But I like the add-ons, and I like all the special functionalities they have, so I'm always hesitant. Once I get one and I like it, I'm always hesitant to take it out. And sometimes that's not to my best advantage. Just a second. Okay, so, well, it seems that my time for my live videos is 2 hours or a little more. I just managed to sit here and jabber or whatever until it gets that long, and then my throat just don't want to go on anymore, and so you're lucky. I have to quit. Of course, nobody's going to sit and watch the whole thing, and so it's kind of silly. Maybe some people, if they find something in here interesting, they may do like I do and kind of skip through. I've kind of gotten kind of good at it, I'll skip. I kind of get the feel of how far I had to skip to get to the next thing, and maybe I missed something I wanted to hear, but can't, But it takes too long to, it takes me 6, 8, 10, 12 hours to edit a 30-minute to a 1 hour video, especially. My 30-minute video I might do in 6 hours. And plus all the time it took to make it, because it always takes more than 30 minutes to make a 30-minute video, At least an hour. Well, talked long enough now. I think I'm going to have to. I had a cough drop already, and I thought I was going to quit before I had to have it. But get that cough drop. This is going to take. It may end up taking that whole. It's only down to 2 hours and 4 minutes after I bet I've been 30, 45 minutes since I started this. I should have looked up at my clock and noted the time, wrote it down or something. I guess I'll be lucky that this is done by the time I'm, done getting ready for bed, getting ready to go to sleep. But so I'll, next time I make a video, I'll just kind of mention it. Hopefully it works without any trouble. That's the only main thing. But look at there, slowly growing. Now it's up to 1.4 gig. What does that? Hey Google, why are you using all my RAM just to upload one silly video? Please reply ASAP. I'm uploading one right now. I need to go get a bath. And well, I know why it takes so long. I'll start saying, why does it take so long? I know why it takes so long. It's a big file. And, I've only got 4 megabits of data upload speed, which is actually pretty good here in America. I've always read that we're way behind on the internet speeds, but of course they always talk about download speeds. I don't know about upload speeds. But yeah, it's a good thing I didn't try. I really wanted to try another batch because I knew it would be over pretty, it would happen pretty quick, but that would have just probably locked this machine up and broken this upload. So I need to remember, no point in trying to upload a big video on this machine if I want to be on this machine, because it's just, I can't do anything else. I mean, I could fiddle around with some little thing here or there, but heck, Thunderbird, I couldn't really read emails because Thunderbird's pretty bad about using too much resources these days. It can go anywhere from, like 250 to 450 megabytes. And if it gets in trouble, it'll crawl on up to 500 or 800 megabytes, and that would really be pushing this machine. And OBS Studio, thankfully, sometimes it'll get to using a bunch, and I don't know what causes that. Maybe it's because I haven't been clicking on my, I think I have one clue. I'll go over here and click on the video stream. The video stream, I'm using the VLC, the back end of it. That's why I put VLC in there. It's using the back end it's using to play that video stream from my live stream from my camera over there, my phone camera, is VLC. And I think it doesn't get rid of the cache. It just keeps saving it in RAM. I don't know why it doesn't cache it over to your lost the word, your swap. Why does it go straight to RAM? At least it should, little by little funnel it over there, and that's all in the Linux operating system though. But yeah, it'll start real quickly. It can all of a sudden, especially if you use that video stream a lot, it can grow up to 1.5 gigs or something there. But it stayed right there at 286 megabytes this whole evening, the whole 2 hours here that I've been running this. Well, I've been running it. I ran it for 25 minutes, took a little break, left it running while I was gone because it was all set up and working. I didn't want to shut it down and open it back up. We might mess something up because sometimes it does. Sometimes when you first open it up, the music streams don't work when you click on them and stuff. So I ended up doing 4 tests. Well, I had a little distortion problem for my mic, and I fiddled around with the input settings and stuff and got it better. Got to work quick. I don't remember. Well, I'm going to go into that again. But so OBS Studio has been running on this machine since I don't know 5 or 6 this evening. Without any trouble. That's phenomenally good this time. But it's using 280.2 megabytes. So and I do believe, now I don't know if there's other factors, but one of the biggest keys, the only thing I have actually noticed is when you keep using the camera a lot. And I haven't tonight. I used it just for real short periods. Sometimes I'm doing something where I want to use it, Oddly enough, if you open it up and it's using too much memory to start with, shut it down and open it back up again, and it won't do that. If you change any of the settings, you add or subtract or change any of these right here, scenes, it will start using a bunch of memory. Get your settings done, close it, open it back up, it'll quit all that. That's kind of weird. It's kind of like a bug, I think. But and I've used it. And by the way, I've used OBS Studio in Windows with Firefox and Chrome, and on that AS Rocket has Windows 7 on it, the one that's AMD dual core with 2 gig of RAM. You just can, it will just barely do a little bit. If I'd have tried to do this upload, it would have locked the machine up. I really can't do it. I mean, if you're just not really doing anything on the machine, it could sit there and run OBS Studio and the web browser. But if you start doing things like what I've been doing in all these videos, it can't handle it. So, of course, I could get by, probably get a 30-minute video done or something, as long as I was careful on either machine. And on the laptop, it'd get hot and shut down. It would make it overheat. It would just sit there and run like crazy and shut down. And it's running Linux. Well, actually, no. See, the OBS Studio will run in Windows and Linux. I had Windows 7 on this laptop too. That was happening in Windows 7. And at first, this was like 3 years ago, when I first discovered OBS Studio. The only machines I could run it in was Windows. But I didn't even have this quad core back then. My Fedora 14 machine that has 1.8 gigahertz dual core Intel, I couldn't do it on it. Didn't really make that much difference on the Windows, but the AS Rock with the Windows 7 or the laptop. Like I said, the laptop would work real good until it got hot, and then it would just shut down on you in the middle. And plus, I hadn't learned. Part of it might have been because I was trying to do too many frames per second. I wanted 30, and it turns out 10 is great. 10 makes a desktop video work perfectly. Now, if all you was doing is video, you might have to try to raise the frames per second. If you wanted your mouth to, I'm not going to switch over or start it to. If you wanted the mouth to match, I know I'm still eating that cough drop, but I'm sure it's making noise. If you wanted the mouth to match what you're saying, then you'd have to up the frames per second. But then if you're doing a live video, you're fighting that how much upload speed do you have? If you're pushing that too hard, then and maybe you could actually use this to help you figure those things out. Watch this right here, the sending. Might could find the magic number that it could handle there. But what I had gotten it to the point to where it would work in the recording, like I'm doing right now. I'm doing a recording and I'm streaming live. That way I got a backup if anything goes wrong with my stream. But the recording would work, but the stream would always be completely out of sync and really no good. And but my machines back then, that was only for a short time though, because my machines couldn't handle doing all that encoding at once. So I would stop the local save and just do the stream, and so then I could go on. I'd go for an hour or something, and I was just doing tests. I just labeled them as tests, But I'd just go on about stuff like I'm doing right now. And here's the laptop working hard now for some reason. And for a minute I thought, was this one I'm on? See, it's crawled up a little more. 1.6 gigabyte. I think I'm going to be lucky for this upload to finish before it fills this memory up on this machine. But why does it fill up the memory on the machine? I'm just uploading a file from my hard drive, plugged it into my machine to YouTube. It's not OBS Studio that's filling up the memory. It's this script. Evidently, that's the script that's doing the work for Firefox. Why is it? It's just sending data up. Why is it filling up the memory? I don't get that. Yeah, because and like I said, the one thing that OBS Studio will do is if you use the cam stream a lot, evidently that puts it in the memory and leaves it there. But haven't done that in in a long time here, and obviously I haven't because it's staying right where it was when I started it several hours ago. It's just not using up anything. It's good. But I guess I will. Well, I'll leave my laptop going. Oh, stream health bad. So I may be having trouble with my stream. I'm going to hit reload and see if it looks any better. It could be because I don't know. It could be because the laptop itself. No, it wouldn't. It probably just happened and I hadn't noticed it. It says the YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's broken. But it could be, or what would happen to me before, what I was just describing, is my audio and video would get out of sync. And what I was saying would be really off from what I was showing on the desktop screencast. It's still saying that now it's good. I reloaded that page and the stream health is good, but so at some point that stream got bad. I've seen that happen once or twice before, and when I went through the video it was okay. It might have been off for a little bit and then corrected itself. I don't know. I didn't never see that point where it was where anything was out of sync. I just kind of thumbed through the video, But I've been planning on quitting anyway. But in the case that if it did get damaged and it was all messed up, then I have my backup actual recording to a hard drive that I could delete this original stream and upload that. But as we can see, that's 2.5 gigabyte right now. So guess what? You're looking at 3 hours to upload it. This 2.8 gigabyte. So you're looking at around 3 hours to upload it. I hold the silly laptops over there playing my stream now. I don't know why it was playing it. I had it on pause. I guess reloading it made it start playing. But it's still, the fans are really working hard on it. I started to shut it down because I figured it was just getting hot. It is getting fairly warm. I don't think I'm going to go over there and try to watch TV with it anyway, but that's what I call it, watching TV, because I'm watching it on my TV. I haven't really watched TV in years. I watch everything on the internet from one source or another. Even though I may watch a TV show, I'll watch it from online. I just like it better that way. I watch it when I want to, how I want to. We've never had I've never had cable or satellite or anything in my entire life. And once I got, once they started putting it on the internet, I didn't need it. It's a little bit more, you got to really like computers and messing around on the internet, or it's a pain in the butt. Sometimes it is for me. Half the time I just watch YouTube videos. I like to watch how-to videos and stuff, or if I want to watch car races or stunts or something, heck, there's no end to that on YouTube. So, and good ones, and you don't have to listen to all the hyped up BS announcers talking about it. You just get to the action. But when I see a reality show, I'll watch a real reality show, not one of those hyped up ones. So I'm not into what they call reality shows anyway, but other than like how-to videos, seems how you really do something, or somebody doing a real motorcycle jump or car race or something, drag races. I like to watch those, and I like the ones that are well done, like Hot Rod Drag Week and stuff like that. Now, Roadkill I like. That's a semi-professional show. I like to kid about how unprofessional they are, but they do a good job. But I didn't ever have anything to watch all those other car shows, and I've seen a few, that get on the internet. I'm like, all right, I don't want to hear you talk about it. Just show it, I don't care how cool you're trying to be. So, Kind of like listening to an old man sit here and ramble about computers and everything else he thinks of for no good reason, huh? Okay. I really didn't intend to keep going on about this. Somehow one thing led to another. I kept thinking maybe I could do some more, but all I ended up doing is rambling. And I didn't really expect it to finish. I figured that out right after I started it. But yeah, there's nothing else I can do. I kept all this time I was kind of rambling. I kept thinking, okay, surely I can do something else and get it done, and that I need to get done on this uploading and stuff, and show it at the same time. I didn't expect to go this way tonight. I really expected to. That's why I kept hanging on there. Expected to get some more of this stuff in my Google Photos transferred over. But as you can see, it's not the smoothest process when you have a bunch. And if you've got bigger files, you better go check. I'm gonna have to really do some figuring out. At least I did, I figured out a quick way, just organize them. Excuse me. Just organize them, get in your folders there. I like Crusader. If you're in Linux, Crusader's the one I like. Whatever file manager you use. Organize them in their, file size, and then by file size. See which ones you're going to have to upload. But I'm definitely going to. I'm going to have to set it. I'll probably have to try next. If I'm going to upload all those big files, what will really kill me is if it gets to the end of this and it says, "Oh, this is a duplicate." What it would mean is it had been resized to a smaller size and uploaded to Google Photos. I don't know. I mean, if their maximum size is 2 gigabytes and this thing was 3.8, I don't see how it could cut the size in half. I think what it does is skip anything over 2 gigabytes. And so I don't think they ever went. When it hits me fast sometimes, and it don't give up. Hang on. Okay, sorry. Well, it seems to. Oh, good. The air conditioner seems to be coming on now. Suddenly, it was just. It wasn't just my throat needing the cough drop, which I still had and was almost gone. Suddenly, the allergies just hit me like crazy, and I realized, man, I'm burning up. It's hot as fire in here. It's one of that time of year. Yeah, February, but I'm in North Texas, and so Yeah, I think it was supposed to have been 84 today or something. So the air conditioner was running. But then, but it kept getting stuffy in this room with three computers running. Open the window, close the window, open the window, and finally I left it open when it got dark because I figured that'd help. But evidently it really hasn't cooled off that much. Well, it's 79. I'm looking up here. There you go. You can see it too. 79 in Fort Worth. I'm actually in Azle, so it's usually a couple of 3 degrees cooler. So the only thing... So there's no cool air coming in. Maybe I'm getting a little bit fresher or allergy-laden air. Maybe that's why I'm coughing. Maybe there's more stuff in the air than I realized. But getting worse instead of better. So anyway, I was getting ready to quit, and I thought, I'm going to say this one more thing, and then I'll quit. And that was at just a little over 2 hours now. It's 2 hours and 21 minutes. So. And my stream looks good still, though. It really has been working well. Really happy about that. It got bad for a minute there. I don't know how long it was because I didn't. Of course, you don't look at it all the time, so you don't know when. The thing. You know things are going good or bad, but you don't know when it happened, if you're not looking at it a lot. So 44%. Boy, it really is. I think it's actually going to take those 3 hours that it originally said. So this machine will just keep running. I'm going to have to get off here. And yeah, so it's not only just transferring stuff from Google Photos, but then I'm going to have a bunch of big files. I've already got off that page, but I'm going to have a bunch of big files that, see, this one would be one of them if I had to upload it. If it turns out to have some bad spots in it once it's finished. If I'll look at the live stream, like I always do that. I'll look at it and see if it does. And and then I can upload it. I haven't had to do that so far since I started doing this last couple of months here. Well, we'll see. So I thought I was going to make a video of showing it working really well. I thought, well, I've been showing how, the hard times when you're doing a bunch of files and it not working good. And I thought, well, I'm going to make at least one little video. Maybe it probably won't take too long of it working good. But that's not what happened. I showed that it's still a problem with like 150 files, and it's no errors necessarily. But was there an error at the beginning of this? I can't remember now. I don't remember if there was a script error I had to say no wait, or if it just started uploading, been taking a long time. But anyway, no matter how you slice it, it is not a piece of cake to get your videos up on YouTube. Not unless they're just short and sweet, small files. And it's still not great, but I've never liked just sitting there waiting on a video to upload because, especially when you have to keep that page open. When I am working around and doing stuff, I'm constantly opening and closing pages, opening and closing browsers. I use one browser for one purpose, another one for another, and if I got something going, I'll forget and just shut it. If I'm busy working, So anyway. I'm doing a mini-series here. 10-hour mini-series. You've never seen this before. I promise. And I promise that you may not be able to get through it. Not even thumbing through it. That's all right. Maybe a little bit here and there might be interesting one day to somebody. If nothing else, I'll go back and look at it, thumb through it, and find some things I forgot. Okay. Well, it's dawn, and good night. We'll see you next time. And well, I don't know. I'm not even going to say what I'm going to try to do because I'll figure it out before I do it. Bye.